Chafetz Chaim, who is the one who treasures life. It is the person who is mindful of what they do, of what they say, of how they are with others. Turning together, sorry, page 189. Medaber mirma, sur me'rav yaseh tov, makeh shalom verotfehu. Nitzror lishon hamera, uspatecha medaber mirma, sur me'rav yaseh tov. Makeh shalom verotfehu. Lai 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 lai. Lai 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 lai. Lai 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 lai. Ya lai 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 ya lai lai. If you've been hanging around me over the years, you know I frequently remind folks, if you were willing to come every Shabbat, you cannot come on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. I give you a pass. Achad Ha'am says it's not the Jewish people that keep Shabbat, it's Shabbat that keeps the Jewish people each and every Shabbat. Page 129, we turn to prayers that resound the meaning of Elul, Dodi li va'ani lo. I am to my beloved is to me. The month of Elul and Shabbat asks us to turn toward the source, toward the sacred, toward the spiritual. Lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai. Dodi li va'ani lo haro'eh bashoshanim. Dodi li va'ani lo haro'eh Shoshanim.
levatini, avoti kala, levatini kala, levatini, avoti kala, levatini kala, dogili, vani lo haroe, bashoshani, dogili, vani lo haroe, bashoshani, uri zafon, uvori teman, uri zafon, uvori teman, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la ya la la ya, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la.
So it's beautiful to orient ourselves inward and with the source, and it is important for us to orient ourselves with community. I want to share with everybody that there is a chazir here this evening. There is a pig here this evening who speaks Hebrew. You may not know that, but this chazir actually knows the prayers, I noticed. And afterwards, Elijah reminded me to tell you a chazir story about a chazir that I know. And I'm going to ask that everyone turn and swivel in their seats and say hello to someone you didn't come in with. Greet somebody that you want to be able to say hi to.
Good job.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello.
Welcome.
Caleb. Oh, I'm on my.
Hi, Debbie. Good Shabbos. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom,
shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Nice to
Welcome.
see you. Shabbat shalom.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Amy. Shabbat shalom.
Hello, hello.
Hi, hi,
Oh,
hi.
hello, hello.
It's actually kind of fun to walk out there. I know they make things.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
It is my pleasure to now invite Sherry Mackey, the new director of the Zimit Jewish Learning Adventure here at CHV, to join me for candle lighting as we add our light to the light of Shabbat, and also any children and Hebrew-speaking Hazarim to come join us.
Abigail, Elijah.
That's right. Any children here? First around. All right, over here, Hebrew-speaking pigs. Yeah, everybody up this way. Shirley, he knows the blessing. She knows the blessing. First, a blessing, and really just an offer of gratitude for the light that you bring, a prayer that you should always bring your light and be who you are. 120 for candles on Shabbat. You want to help me? Come on. Here. Come. Do it together. Very good. All right, then we bring the light in. Bring it all in. Bring it all in and hold it right here. And
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. You can take that light with you. Put it in your pocket. Hold on to it.
142
Malachei Hashavit, Malachei Elyonim, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Moechem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashavit, Malachei Elyonim, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashavit, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zukchem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashavit, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
The mystics of Tzfat likens Shabbat to a wedding, and on Kabbalat Shabbat, our beloved approaches. He, she, they are coming. 138 verses 1, 2, 5, and 9 as we welcome our Sabbath soul.
La 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 Lekadodi, la 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 Lekoda, ya la 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 B'nei Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat Lekavela, Shamor v'Zakor, B'Dibor Echad, Yishmi'anu El HaMiluchad, Adonai Echad, U'Shemo
Verse 5.
Get over here. Okay, here we're getting ready for Yiddi Nefesh. Listen what we're going to do. We are going to do I need Laura to know what this is. Don, what is this? A waltz. 1, 2, 3,
A waltz.
2, 2, 3. Get ready, here we go. And turn back. Turn. Step in. Back, half turn. Half back. Up. Back. Half turn. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 2. Full turn. 1, 2, 3, 2. Full turn. Ready? In, out, half turn. Up, back, half turn. 1, 2, 1 side and up. And now go in and half turn back, half turn side, up, down. From the top, here we go. Waltz, turn, turn. 1, Nice. Half turn. Up, back, half turn. 1, 2, 3, full turn. 1, 2, 3, full turn. Here we go. In, out, half turn. Back, half turn. Sashay right, left, and up, down, right, left, up, down. In, out, half turn. Up, back, half turn. Sashay right, left, up, right, left, up. Oh, now because you guys are up and because it's Shabbat, we're going to do one more. Although Haftida, you know this one. That's why. We're excited. Here we go.
All right.
We're going to go that way. And back. Here we go. My. Go up. Back. Go right. 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 And turn. Joy. Go right. 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 And turn. My and step. Here we go. In front. Behind. Front. Behind. Up in. And in. My. Bring your joy. Go right. And turn. Joy. Go right. You guys were great. We've got some dancers among us.
That's right.
I am so proud of you.
Sashay on Shabbat. 145.
144.
יתכתב ויתקדש שמי רבה
Amen.
בעלמא דברה חירותי וימלך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו
Amen.
יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמא ואמרו
Amen. Taking responsibility for one another. We call one another into formal prayer. Taking responsibility for our people everywhere. We make connection through Yerushalayim. Our yearning, as you are able, please stand with me. We face Jerusalem. If we imagine, and if we're willing to be Rodfei Shalom, perhaps we can insist on real, deep, authentic peace. 152, affirming our faith, oneness in the world, oneness with all. The Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
The Shema is flanked on two sides by love. First, love that we receive from the one, from the source, from the universe, and then the love that we bring to one another. 154, the Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta b'am v'shivtecha v'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderech uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha uk'shartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha Adonai Elohechem Emet.
155 at the bottom. When people come to you for help, do not turn them away with words, saying, have faith. Take your troubles to God. Act instead, as if there were no God, as though there were only one person in all the world who could help, only yourself. Martin Buber.
(159). We sing the song of people, joined in understanding and respect, the song of miracles, an earth cherished and protected, a gift for our children, for all children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravaged, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, a song of peace. 158.
Ba'ilim Adonai,
Ba'ilim Adonai,
Mi kamocha,
160, the evening prayer, Hashkivenu, we ask for shelter. We ask for peace. We ask to be held by hands that we cannot see. We ask for hope even when it is dark, even when it is difficult. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu. One 164. Pray as if everything depended on Hashekhinah. Act as if everything depended only on you. It is traditional for us to say the Amidah Balachash in a whisper. The Amidah begins on page 164 and goes through 180. Indulge in prayer. It is not a simple thing in 2023 to find ourselves prayerful. The rabbis teach, Lo yatzanu michovatenu. We have not fulfilled our obligation by merely reading what's written on the page. Rather, go in, find the prayer that you need to bring on this Shabbat. And when you've completed your prayers, work your way back to your seat.
la 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 la
יהיו לרצון נמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך. Adonai tzuri v'go'ali. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Hatzur, my rock and my redeemer.
Oseh shalom bimroma, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'enu. Shalom bimroma, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'enu.
I want to talk about contradictions, discrepancies, inconsistencies, and to find meaning in incoherence, to mine the cracks in the edifice of Torah and to address the confusion and in some ways the moral dissonance of incongruity. I also want to consider the delicious, spectacular potential of all the things that just don't make sense. We read in this week's Torah portion, Parsha Kitzetse, which contains more laws than any other. How many laws? Incorrect. 613. Other guesses?
That's how many laws we have.
Total laws. In one Torah portion, 110 verses. How many laws? Go ahead, holler.
25.
Higher, 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 higher. Oh, you're so close. 74. 110 verses of Torah, 74 laws. The laws of the captive woman and the obligation, should you lay with her, to bring her into your house. The law of the stubborn and rebellious child who is to be publicly stoned. Between them, the laws of inheritance among sons of two wives and the requirement that property be distributed equitably according to established laws and with a commitment to justice and not according to love. 74 laws, ordinances outlining the governance of love and of community and of civil and domestic life, what to do with the impaled corpse of a person executed for capital crimes, bury it, same day. The responsibility to return lost and found property, including runaway slaves, and one's obligation to hand their neighbor's ox or their ass back to them should they lose it. The requirement to build a parapet on one's roof for safety, of course. Parsha Kitzetse also contains prohibitions against cross-dressing. prostitution, usury, and the mixing of seeds, beasts, linen, and wool, a list of sexual misdemeanors, the laws of levirate marriage, and get this, the commandment to remember to forget Amalek. Remember to forget. 74 laws and countless contradictions. Not just in this parsha, the Torah contradicts itself all over the place. We read in Genesis 7 that the flood was caused by an unplugging of the heavens and the depths, but that was also caused by rain. That Noah was to take 7 pairs of clean animals and 1 pair of unclean animals onto the ark, but also that he was to take only 1 pair of each. We read that it rained for 40 days and also that it lasted for 150 days. What was Moses' father-in-law's name? Jethro, yes, if you are looking at Exodus 3, but also according to Exodus 2:18, Reuel, and according to Numbers 10:29, Chovav. What is the name of the mountain of God? Where is the Torah revealed to the people of Israel? Sinai. Yes, so it says in Exodus 19:24, Leviticus 7 and 25, Numbers 3 and 1, but also Horeb. Which is it? Yes. Who sold Joseph? You know this one. Who sold Joseph? His brothers. Yes, but also, according to Genesis 37, the Midianites. When do slaves go free? Is it in the 7th year? That's what we are meant to believe in Exodus 21. But in Leviticus 25, it says in the Jubilee year, in the 50th year. We are told in Exodus 3 that those who desecrate the Sabbath shall surely die. But then also in Numbers 28 that one should sacrifice 2 yearling lambs when? On the Sabbath day. Which is it? Even the top 10 commandments, the sort of central text of our tradition, appears differently in Exodus than it does in Deuteronomy. Which is it? In this week's parsha, we read that if a man lies with a woman by force, it is as though he has murdered her, and he shall be put to death. We also read, just 3 verses later, that if a man seizes a woman and lay with her by force, he shall pay the girl's father 50 shekels and take her as a wife. Which is it? Rape is a capital crime, or a justifiable act that comes with a bride price? Is the moral Torah really so conditional? We read in Leviticus 18 that it is forbidden to uncover the nakedness of your brother's wife. It's part of a long list of misdemeanors. Yet here in Parsha Kitzetse, it says that one ought to marry, one is required to marry, one shall marry the wife of one's brother should he die, and cohabit with her. Which is it? Sexual relations with your brother's wife are forbidden, but according to the laws of levirate marriage, which requires a man to marry his brother's widow, somehow also permitted. Are prohibitions categorical or circumstantial? We read that a woman must not put on man's apparel, nor shall a man wear women's clothing, for whoever does these things is abhorrent to God. And while the Torah has little more to say about such things, Rashi explains that cross-gender dress is only abhorrent when one both presents falsely as another gender and when one does so with licentious intention. When one both presents falsely as another gender and when one does so with licentious intention. The rabbis agree, and so it is, according to Isserles and the Shulchan Aruch, that one is permitted on Purim to transcend. One is further permitted on the grounds that dressing as such makes them happy. Such is on Purim as one is commanded to do. Also, and I say this, I am a boy and these are my clothes. We read that Israelites are forbidden from engaging in prostitution, but that it was Rahab, a Canaanite prostitute, who saved the spies. that it was as a prostitute that Tamar disguised herself in order that she might lay with Judah, thereby securing the line of King David. Which is it? Finally, we are commanded to remember. To remember what? To forget. We are commanded to remember to forget. What does that even mean? How are we to make sense of a text that is so replete with contradictions, discrepancies, inconsistencies, and things that just don't make sense? Also, what delicious possibilities are contained therein? Perhaps it's an awareness that everything contains its contradiction, that God is one, and in all things, and therefore in all things, its opposite. That our holy texts, the Torah, the Mishnah, the Talmud, are multivocal. Elul ve'elul divrei Elohim chaim. That each position is the word of the source. That the goal of engaging with Torah is not consistency, but integrity, authenticity. That embedded in these laws is the tension between love and justice. That something essential is revealed in that tension. That revelation is ongoing and in part a question. Which is it? I don't know. What matters is that we not be indifferent. This, our Torah portion reminds us twice. There may not be an answer to your question, but it's important that you ask it. And so I ask you, which is it? And I offer you a prayer that you should seek and find that delicious possibility in not knowing. Shabbat shalom.
677 with the Torah in our hearts and on our eyelids. We bring ourselves to loving compassion and care for members of our community who are struggling with challenges of illness of body and of soul. Page 677, the third paragraph. I will share names of our community and then look for you to add names of family, friends, and members of our community that I have not been aware of. We ask for healing for Todd Albelli, Claudia Battaglia, Evelyn Bowler, Amelia Byers, Audrey Cohen, Connie Creedon Muller, Terry Fidel, Phyllis Fillmore, Ariana Hagakor, Ron Hall, Ellie Edelwitz, Lou Klein, Mary Jane Klein, and Andrea Klein, who just went through a transplant. May her body accept this gift. Deborah Lifton, Jack Lyons, David Mallon, Jane Meyerson, Estelle Nadler, Merle Perlmutter, Sloan Shortley, Sam Skolnick, Lynn Spiro, Jenny Sumber, Tali Tolman Maneo, Beverly Ushko, Ben Wilder, Karen Wilder, Kim Wiltsey, Maureen Wolfson, Jen Wolfson, Sue Worthman, Lauren Petties. So next week, all of my classes are as scheduled, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I wanted you to know that next Friday, as I did this evening, we will be blowing the shofar for the month of Elul 5 minutes before services begin. If you are delightfully, deliciously here, but you didn't get here 5 of 6, know that you can hear the shofar in any of my classes throughout the week, or if you come before services next Friday. I know you are waiting, and Saturday morning services resume on September 9th. So from that period forward, from the weekend after Labor Day weekend, we have, of course, our Friday night services, as we have all summer, at 6, and then beginning September 9th, our Saturday morning minyan every week at 10 a.m. We are in the month of Elul, so that means that Erev Slichot, beginning with Havdalah, and then an hour of contemplative nigunim and contemplative readings for each of us to get ready for Rosh Hashanah. This is a beautiful tradition on the Saturday night before Rosh Hashanah. We hope you will choose to be with us. I don't need to tell you, but I will say it. There are a few faces that I do not know. Erev Rosh Hashanah begins Friday, September 15th at 7:30 p.m. Please make certain to pick up our schedule on your way out. Know that our doors and our hearts are open, and we hope that you will choose to be here each and every Friday night, and we really hope that you will choose to be here with us throughout the high holidays. Pay attention to the schedule. We're not like every other shul. We do second day Rosh Hashanah outdoors at Poets Walk. We do Erev Slichot at a congregant's home at a beautiful, beautiful setting, unless it rains, in which case we will, of course, go to a public space. Look at the whole schedule. Don't hesitate to speak to me. Board members, raise your hands. Board members. Speak to any of the board members or call the office, and we would be happy to help open the door for you. You can see our full high holiday calendar also on our website. If you would like to memorialize a loved one with a plaque or a place in the name, placing their name in the book of life, contact Conrad Heisman at 845-338-6172, or if you can't remember that number, then just call the office and Regina will put you in touch with him. This is important because when you're here on the holidays and you suddenly don't hear your loved one's name read, know that that is because we need you to sign up ahead of time. CEHV is thrilled that our new director of our Jewish Learning Adventure, our religious school, Sherry Mackey, is on board with our team. Registration is ongoing. We're thrilled by Sherry's leadership and the new year. It's possible there's one place open left for teaching. Is that right, Sherry? Where's Sherry?
Actually, I think we're full.
We're full. But you can sign up to be a sub, and you can also volunteer for our many activities. And know that our Honey fundraiser is ongoing. What I do want to share with you is that all of our announcements are online, and I'd also like to share with you that Sherry is thrilled this evening to be welcoming her mom and her mom's partner to be here with us, and so we're thrilled. You're part of our family because Sherry is part of us. And Sherry really is a mover and a shaker. If you don't know that, you're going to learn about Sherry. So she dropped into our very busy calendar that tonight we're going to have dinner afterwards. I know that my husband made extra food, so if you didn't by any chance bring food, come sit close to Michael. And he'll have food for you. we hope you'll stay and schmooze. We all brought a little more than usual. Yes, Sherry?
And Yossi's going to play the keyboard.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Sherry, you must have been here for years because you think that announcements are interactive. Well, you and I are going to have a talk about this later. And thank you, Sherry. That's perfect. That's perfect. For many years, Sherry, the congregation thought that announcements were interactive, and I retrained to them. So, yeah. But Sherry gets a pass at least through the new year. Check our website for all of these announcements and more, and make sure that even if you can't stay for a long time, that you come afterwards to Kiddush and give us an opportunity to say hi, but especially help Sherry to welcome her family and friends to our community. Old friends and new friends. Boy, Sam Kogan, we're thrilled that you're here. That's pretty amazing. I bar mitzvahed that little pisher once. And I just want to say along the way that I'm so proud of Abigail and Elijah and Caleb, not just for leading us with the lighting of the candles, but for the way that you are looking out for Daniel and teaching him that being at Shabbos is a time of joy. Maybe he's teaching us a little bit too. So thank you. I look forward to greeting everyone immediately after services.
Inviting you to rise as you are able, to find your feet, to find your center, and to know that if we are to see the world as we wish it to be, that it is on us. 587.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon
Hakol latei gedula yotzer reshit, shehu sam chelkeinu liyached et shemo, v'gor aleinu l'hamlich malchuto, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. 591. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, u'shemo, u'shemo echad.
So before we move to close the service, Barry, 5 and 6, Mike, 5 and 6, I want to share with you that this past year, we began a new minhag. One thing about this congregation is we are never standing still. We're always looking to see what we need to do differently, how we can move forward and meet our needs. We realize that there are members of our community, when they have sustained a loss, that they take very seriously their shana, their year of grief. And we realize that as a community, we are very tied together, and when someone in our community has sustained a loss, we have sustained a loss. And so we began a new minhag that when a member of our community has reached their shana for their loved one, we give them a few minutes to be in our community and to honor the memory of their loved one as they complete their year of grief. Tonight, we are reaching the Shana for Eli's beloved Susan, and I'm going to say for our beloved Susan. And so I'm going to ask Eli to come forward and to share a few words about his soulmate, his best friend, his better half, and the blessings that she gave us.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Yeah, thank you, Eli. Come.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I don't have my beloved wife here who would be going like this within 2 minutes. There's some people who know me And I'm not at a, how would I say, a premium with words. My life has been spent speaking. And unfortunately for me, the limits of my speech, which would come from my wife, are not present here today. And I would tell you to get comfortable. I'm a lawyer by trade and by profession, and I love to talk. And I'm not going to talk about my favorite subject, which is me. I'm going to talk about my favorite person in the whole world ever, Susan Elizabeth Raymond Bosch. There was nobody like her. I know some people actually know her. I have one relative here, Sam Cogan. Good to see you, Sam. There's just nobody like my wife. She was a giver to all things, made things better for everybody around her. Every person she ever came in contact with, they were better because of Susan's efforts towards them. She taught young children, kindergarten teacher, an artist. She was a maker of things for her entire life, from when she was a little girl with a little play stove to the last time she could use her hands. She constantly made things. In terms of the temple, she loved this institution. Everybody looks at the logo of the temple, which looks like the stained glass, but it's not really the stained glass. It's Susan's creation, and it was created, maybe one or two people here may even know that, but there was a cookbook done maybe 25, 30 years ago, and Susan did the illustration for the cover, which then became the logo. She has the tzedakah box, which were probably 5,000 hours that she put into creating the tzedakah box. Susan did everything to the nth degree with perfection, beyond anything imaginable. And I'm so utterly grateful. I know I would not be standing here if it wasn't for her. She changed my entire diet. She changed my entire personality. She cleansed me of my temper. She gave me a balance, and she brought the gift of life to me on every moment of our existence together. We were totally intertwined. She was lovely in everything, lovely in how she appeared, and lovely in everything she did. She made things better for everybody, made them more comfortable. She created beautiful objects for people and for institutions, donated many of them for numerous causes. Susan was just the most giving and wonderful person. And I'll just give a couple more words. She embraced Judaism. Was never anything I asked her to do. She's a Jew by choice. And before she converted, Rabbi El converted her, but a long time before that she had embraced Judaism. And for many reasons, most of them the life cycle of Judaism, and how beautiful it is, and how bring a child into the world, into the last breath, to bury a person, how the life cycle of Judaism is so comforting and so inclusive. And I'll tell you this, which is somewhat kind of intimate a bit, but so Susan and myself began dating about almost 50 years ago, 49 years ago, and met out and roundabout. And I went to law school, and Susan was going to come to visit me. And so she stopped over Colonial Gardens, low-income housing, where my widowed mother and I had residence. And I was over in law school over in, then I was actually living in Connecticut. And so she would stop on Shabbat evening, Friday night, at the house. And my mother would say, the first time that Susan stopped there, she knew when she looked through the screen door that Susan was the person for me. And as always, my mother was correct. My mother was very loving. Susan loved her, and my mother loved her. And Susan was so good to her family, friends, relatives, everybody. Susan would tell you she got so much more out of life than she gave, and what she gave was incalculable. She gave to everybody. She made people special, and she made me special, and for that I am forever grateful. And Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Zichronah levracha. May her memory be for a blessing, for an inspiration, and as a gift. 592. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old people that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for the other walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands, by letting bodies touch bodies, and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die. People do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. I'm going to ask that if you are in your Shana, your year of grief, that you stand now and I'm going to invite you to share the names of your loved one. Thank you. As we hold you and you remain standing, for any of our congregants who are observing Shana virtually, please remember that I am with you with the names of your loved ones this Friday evening. And with those standing, I'm going to read the names of loved ones who died in this season in years past, whose yahrzeits are being observed. Please stand with those who are standing when your loved one's name is read. Shoshana, Mibeit Avraham v'Sarah, Eli Bash's wife. Rona Meyer Brandon, Linda Brandon's mother. Sandra Brown, Lawrence Capozzi, Mary Jane Klein's father. John Chapman, beloved of Fred and Joan Quarterer. William Dean, Seal Gross, Irving Gross, Melissa Newman's father. Richard Kalish, Adrian Kaplan, Morris Katz, Pamela Lynn, Lillian Lynn's sister. Anna Mayer, Lucas Robbie, Cantor Emeritus Cohn's grandson. Edith Satinsky, beloved of Kitty Satinsky. Ann Spiesman, Shirley Stone, David Stone's mother. Nathan Weingarten, Jeff Lukash's father. Sylvia Mann Wilbur, Kurt Wolf, and Ann Petrera, Pat Brackman's mother. Zichronam Levracha. Standing together, page 598. With those who are standing and remembering, and with the people of every race and nation who live their lives as a blessing to humanity, we wrap you up in our prayer, in our minhag, as we affirm blessings and life together. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam ulalmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'halal. Shmei t'kudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol b'nei Adam v'imru amen. We close this evening, page 677. It is an opportunity in this month of Elul, in August, the last blasts of summer, to celebrate all that is sacred, all that we are grateful for. Kol hanshama tehallel, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Lai, 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 lai.
Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Ya, la, lai, lai, lai. Ya, la, lai, lai, ya, la, lai, lai. Ya, la, lai, lai, lai. Kol haneshama tehallel ya. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol haneshama tehallel ya. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Ya la 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 ma tehallel ya. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol haneshama tehallel ya. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Ya la la ya la ya la ya la la ya la 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 ya la la ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la I need the chazir to come forward with the boys. Okay, but you gotta hold it. Can you hold together, please? And we're not gonna let it spill.
Pig.
Vayehi erev vayehi voker yom hashishi. ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם. ויכול אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה. וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו. כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. סברי, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן, אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו. בשבת קודשו, באהבה וברצון ינחה לנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת עם כל העמים, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen. I can make you really, really, really smart if you let me put a teeny bit of wine on your eyebrows. You open to it? It's before school. Would you like it, Elijah? This is what I do to my kids. Yeah, I'd want it. It's really good grades come from this. Would you like it, Abigail? Mm-hmm. Caleb, would you like it? How about on the back of your hand? You'll have a really smart hand. You don't have to. It's all about choice, sweets. You're good.
Amen.
Wait, I do need you guys here, though,
need
for one
help.
more minute. Is Daniel here?
Daniel.
Daniel, we need
Daniel.
you.
Oh,
This
there
is
he is.
so that when you go in with Sherry, that you guys have done your brachot. And of course, you'll do a Birkat Hamazon at the end. Daniel.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to the one above. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Bring a piece to your parent unit first, and then you can have some. Is he allowed to? No.
No.
Does he?
Oh, he has some feelings about that. If somebody said no to me,
I'm
I'd feel the
leaving
same.
this out. No, go give him back to his parents.
Oh, well.
Shabbat shalom. Yeah, everyone feel free to come and get some challah. Welcome to our guests. And any questions that you may have, I would
There'll be
love
music.
to hear from you.
We'll get it going.
Just take a piece of
Yeah.